Hello, hello. I cannot hear anything. There we go. There we go. Hello, hello. Sorry, I've got people printing things and I'm getting all my place in order. I've got to figure out a way to move this monitor somewhere else because I feel like it's just crowding me. Or just get a keyboard thing like here so it's not up here. I don't know. You guys don't care. So, welcome to Tomes of Isolation. My name is Roxanne Thompson. I again will be your host tonight as we return to Alone Against the Dark, which is a Call of Cthulhu 7th edition solo adventure published by Chaosium Incorporated. Of course, I don't have my text correct at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to go ahead and put John's mic on again. In case
I get to talk to people tonight?
you get to talk to people every week, even if you
Aw.
don't know it. So, hello, our two viewers. Sorry, I have not been doing anything in chat because I, once again, forgot. I thought about it all week. I thought about it earlier today. I was like, I need to go. Hey, Jessica, good to see you. I was thinking about I need to go and divvy up my points. You know, it's only been a month since I've been working, since I've done this, or I guess it's only been 2 weeks. This show's every week. Hey, Amanda. Um, but I need to go divvy up the 150 points for this character. Guess what I was doing at 6:45? So, got this. I'm trying to figure out. We got printer ink, so I've got a lot more papers and things this time, and I need to pull up my. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do just for a second? Let's do this. Turn that off so I can see everything. I'm gonna set this over here. Turn on my fan because it's warm. Pull up the book, but I'm just gonna turn off the name for a second. The title of the adventure until I get that set up. So, one of the things I did print off was this, if you can see, is what they have provided, and it goes all the way to December of 1931. This is my time log that I'm supposed to be keeping. So, I'm going to update that really quickly because, as we remember, Professor Grunewald met his demise on a ship bound for Athens, Greece. And we had done several days of investigation and stuff. So we made it to, it was the day that we went to the library and spent all day in the library that we ended up getting ganked. So let's see here. Tuesday, the 8th of September. Oh, wait, that's not a Tuesday. Am I silly? Oh, okay, so that was Sunday. Wait a second. Oh. I was looking at November. That's why it didn't make sense. So, yes, Tuesday, the 8th of September was as far as we would made it with Professor Grunewald. Tonight we will be starting our adventure as Ernest Holt, a friend of Professor Grunewald. So let me pull up the book. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. OneDrive. So I hope you guys are enjoying this show. Like I've said before, this should continue at least through the end of quarantine. We're having a little bit of a hard time finding solo adventures or GM-less choose-your-own-adventure style.
It is a weird one.
Yeah,
Finding stuff for that.
I'm not finding much now. I did just work on a piece the other day for a company that is for one player,
Oh.
but I think it requires a GM.
Yeah, there are a
So,
couple of those, especially in the dungeon world. I actually found a listing on one, which has been interesting, and it's might be the oldest example of this I've ever heard,
mhm.
and that is one that came from the 80s.
Okay.
I think it was like 1986, and it's Narnia.
Oh.
yeah, I was like, well, that's interesting. A role-playing game set in Narnia that
I
is a
mean,
one-player. And I'm like, well, it's a hard thing because I'm like, we've had some that haven't been, not trying to be rude, but
they've been pretty crap.
they haven't been the best. And so I'm like, do we want to take a risk on something that's that old and was never republished? And can I actually track down a copy of it?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, would it be? I mean, you would think that if it took place in Narnia, that it probably would be a little, at least safe content-wise. Maybe, I don't know.
Has to be better than that one dark eye with all the nudity. Let's go.
I just wish we'd gotten there.
Let's all go have fun with the. What were they? They were the.
There was the hand. It was the two maids, the sisters. Are you okay?
Yeah, just posts.
Oh, let's see here. Okay, cover. Me, I'm looking for where I start as Ernest Holt, because I believe he has his own deal. All right, we lost Professor Grunewald once. Where are my characters at? Okay, Ernest Holt begins on entry number 36. So, let us go there. And we'll find out what day his starts on. Okay. The location is, are we all ready? I believe the lag is about 20 seconds today if I caught it right on the when I was checking the streams. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, so again, we're doing Alone Against the Dark by, I believe it's Matthew Costello. And I'm going to set but Grunewald's stuff aside. I have a legit character sheet that I worked up today for, just a little bit ago. I filled out all the stuff. He's actually got some cash. It said he had 35,000 in cash, which I think should have been assets. Cash is usually like what you have on you. Spending cash is how much you're willing to spend a day or able to spend a day. Or I guess cash is like easily accessible, and then in assets you have like way more. So 35,000 is a lot to immediately have accessible, but he is an industrialist, so who knows. Let me give you a quick rundown about old Ernest here. He's an industrialist. He's 62 years old, and he lives in New York City. When it talked about his background or his description, I can show you a picture on the other sheet that I have. But his description is clean-shaven, receding hairline, and prominent eyebrows. The significant people are, he's friends with Louis Grunewald and Lydia Lau, which is another character that should Mr. Holt meet his demise, we will probably be moving on to her. Before retiring from the Navy, he was Devin Wilson's commander. I believe Devin Wilson is the other individual that we get to play should we go through them, which, if it goes the same way as the others are, we will be. This, however, is Mr. Holt, as far as the adventure gives us. So, let's get started. I even have, for quick reference, I printed off the location tables. So, it's of course not clickable, but at least I have a quick reference for what I can do. So, entry number 36. Something is wrong. You learned long ago to trust your hunches. Grunewald's telegram stopped without explanation 72 hours ago. Your inquiries have gone unanswered. Should you alert your agents scattered across the globe? Judiciously sipping superb brandy, at last you decide against the employment of proxies. Grunewald hinted of mysteries beyond the capacities of mere assistants. You trust his judgment and decide to go yourself. You scrawl instructions to subordinates and dictate phone messages to a secretary whom you have callously woken from a sound sleep. Your holdings will tend themselves for a few weeks. Your passport is in order. You'll pull strings to get an assortment of visas overnight. Mere governments cannot keep Ernest Holt from aiding a friend. A liner sails soon. Jenkins can have you packed and ready to go in an hour. You have plenty of time. It's a pity your experimental transatlantic passenger plane isn't quite ready, though that would be fun. You find yourself eagerly anticipating action in the field. You feel ready for anything. You call Lydia Lau at the New York Sun. A despicable rag of a newspaper, but a crackerjack young lady with lots of talent. Miss Lau has heard nothing from Grunewald. You notice her professional interest grow as you talk, and you ask her to write nothing for a few days. I'm sure there's a proper explanation, you say grandly, but somehow you know that neither of you believes that statement. Now you sleep. You'll attend to details tomorrow. When you wake, go to any New York location. All right. So, according to this, he has not heard from Grunewald in 72 hours. I don't know how things worked in 1931. Sorry if the screen wobbles. That's another reason why I want to get this monitor somewhere else. Any bump of the table will send this thing a wobbling, and there goes my camera with it. So, but I don't know how things worked in 1931, but Grunewald was going to be on a boat for 2 weeks. I don't think you can send a telegraph from the boat. Don't they require wires? Am I wrong? Am I dumb? I think they require wires, don't they? I don't know. I should study more. Let's see. So go to any New York location. So in the morning, sounds like I have visas and everything. We haven't done New York. We did Arkham, right? So there's a bunch of stuff that we could potentially do. We could go to. You guys ready for this? We probably need to know. It says a liner sails soon, so I need to go ahead and check out Pier 56 to find out when the next boat is going to be. Because we're going to say, I guess, that it's the 8th. It's kind of weird that it doesn't, like, give you... I guess it really can't give you a time to start. Do I assume that it's 3 days after he died? Just for the sake of storytelling? Or do I assume it's the day? Or 3 days after he left? It's got to be 3 days after he died, right?
For realism, maybe.
So, I'm going to say it's 72 hours since he kicked it. Which was I think it was in the morning or the evening. Yeah, who do we have in chat? Let me just get a little peek here.
We got Jess,
Yeah,
Amanda, and we've got
Aten. Or I'm probably saying your username wrong. I'm sorry. Aten. Isn't that the name of the cult that Grunewald was actually was? Yeah, the Egyptian something of Aten or Aten. Anyway, thank you for coming. I believe you were here the last time we played this, and I may have made a comment about your name. Let's see here. So let me clink that off real fast. So 72 hours from, we're just going to say 9th, 10th, 11th, so that's 24. We're going to say midday on the 11th is when this kind of started. And then we're going to say it's the 12th in the morning when I'm doing something. So Pier 56 of the Cunard Lines is open 24 hours every day. So let's go ahead and let's get a... let's find out when the rail line is. Aten. Thank you. Somebody taught me the right way to say it, and I just don't remember. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go get our liner sorted. Entry number 104. So, we're gonna say that I ate for an hour. Guys, in game it's September 12th. That's my birthday. My Roxanne's birthday. Nothing bad can happen on this day. So, 104, we're going to say that I woke up at 6 a.m. I ate breakfast, which took an hour. And it took me an hour to get to Cunard Lines. So it is now 8 o'clock. Let's see. The representative informs you that a liner departs each Saturday at noon, reaching Athens at noon 9 days later, and Alexandria at 1 p.m. 1 day later. Tickets are available and include all meals. Okay, so, well, guys, when does it leave? At noon. Do we want to just get on the boat? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah. Do we want to just get on the boat? It's 8 a.m. on Saturday. Is there anything we want to do, or do we want to wait a week? I think I kind of want to get back on the boat and get going. But should I wait a week? I should have remembered that it was going to leave it. I have weapons. I actually, based on the character build, I have a 45 and a 12 gauge shotgun. And I have naval training, obviously. So I'm a bit of a scrapper too, just a little bit. I do speak German as well as English. I kind of pushed some skills that I thought we used with Grunewald. I bumped them up a little bit. I'm hoping that I didn't make him too one-dimensional, but we'll see. So go ahead and get on the boat. That's kind of where I'm leaning too. So I have 4 hours. I have 4 hours to get on the boat. Do we want to do anything else before we leave? We'd have time to go one place, do a thing. Let's see. Get there, do a thing until 10, do a thing until 11, and come back. We could potentially go one place and do 2 things there. So last time we did a lot at the library. Let's see. We went to the Greek consulate the last time too. What did Grunewald do? I mean, I know Holt doesn't have this information, but this is a solo adventure, so I don't feel like it's super metagaming. So we did the consulate. The consulate was a dead end, and then we did the library. So we could potentially go to the library and study one topic, I think. I have falafel written on here. We must have gotten falafel. Let's see. So, what are you giggling at?
You did have falafel, and it was good.
Okay. So, why don't we run over... There's also a bookseller's. It has 3 floors of books. Do we want to go to the bookstore? Or do we want to just go to the library and try to do one topic lookup? Any other time you would have said bookstore. So it's books either way we go. It's library. I think those are really the only 2 things, because it's Grand Central Station, which we don't need to go to. General Merchandise Emporium. Again, we don't need to go to. Willett's Booksellers, Greek Consulate, Holt's apartment, which we've already been to. Hospital always open. Hotel with room service. Don't need that. New York Public Library, New York Sun, on the street food vendors, and taxis. We're just going to go to the library. I can't wait for y'all all day. Let's see, we're going to go to the library. Where did it go? So, from 8 to 9, I go to the library. I lost it. Where is it? New York Public Library. 74. While not allowing browsers, the helpful librarians provide you with a selection of books. No rolls are needed for these books. So, okay. Before, what we looked at... Sorry, did I pull something? Okay. Before, what we looked at was... Carpathios... Let's see. Did I write this down, or was I dumb? I did Egyptology. I did... All I have written down is German, Latin, and English. So we... maybe that was the Egyptology role. Oh, we did occult, and then we did several things under occult. And then we did Egyptology. So, I can do archaeology, Greece, or all others. Archaeology or Greece? Greece? Okie dokie. Oh, okay. I looked it up. The others, that was where we had all the languages, and we looked at everything over there. So yeah, let's look at Greece, because we didn't do that one yet. 63. This democratic nation of freedom-loving peoples has a complex and lengthy history. They are fiercely protective of their rights and even more protective of the precious artifacts of their heritage. Make a successful knowledge roll and go to 25. Alright, so let's go ahead and break out our little dice camera here. And I'll sort that out. Set the mouse over because it's getting in the way, y'all. Alright. There we are. Did I not? I didn't. Yeah. All of my fooling around, I completely missed getting my dice out. But here they are right here. Alright. My knowledge, or Lester's knowledge, or Ernest, I always want... Why do I want... Is there somebody named Lester Holt in history? Is there someone famous named Lester Holt? I keep calling this person Lester Holt, and I feel bad because that is not his name.
Yes, there is.
Who is it?
Lester Holt is an American journalist who was once on NBC Nightly News and Dateline.
Well, there we go. Shows I never watched, but I must have seen their names somewhere. All right, so for a knowledge roll for Ernest here, I'm looking at a 65 is my limit. And I got a... Okay, 61. Whoops, there we go. 61, so I just made it. That's a happy town. So I'm going to mark it whether or not I get to use it, get to upgrade my character or not, or level up. So, I can't mark it, it's a knowledge roll. Never mind, it's a plain characteristic roll. So, go to 25. Aristotle Milonus, while collecting an undeniably tremendous treasure house of Greek art, has been reluctant to loan or even to show some of the National Museum's most interesting treasures. The Carpathos device, for example, has not been displayed for years. Its loan to other museums is, according to Milonus, unthinkable. So that was in Great Museums of the Modern World. If in New York, go to 74. So, we again get mention of the Carpathos device, which I'm sure we're going to have to, and we know that based on our Egyptology studies earlier, the Carpathos device was actually Egyptian and was the Wonder of Aten, and something I wrote that starts with a P that I can't read anymore. So, let me get a different page to jot some notes down on. Apologies if you can hear that massive truck rumble. The neighbors across the street have a loud vehicle. That's either the neighbors across the street or the neighbors next door. I don't know. I think it's across the street. They'll be back shortly, probably, to back into their driveway, at which point you'll also hear their truck. Let's see. Where, oh where is a blank page in my notebook? I guess I'll just do it here. Didn't want to, but I did it anyway. Alright, so we're going to head back to the boat, and we're going to get on the boat. Now remember, we have to do this stupid location table thing. Good gracious, just go home. Maybe they're backing up. Maybe they are coming home. Let's see. So, Greece. Carpathos device. Owned by, what was his name? Milanos. And he will not loan it out. It is unthinkable. Okay. So, back to the boat. And here's our line activities table. So, we get on the boat on the 12th. At noon. Takes us, yep. So, on the first Sunday, go to 73. If you have scheduled... Oh, I haven't scheduled anything yet, so let's... This boat thing is frustrating. So, let's go back. Let's do this the right way. 7. Okay. So, starting Sunday morning, select 3 ship activities. So, do we want... I don't know if we want to mimic what Grunewald did, because we didn't get to do a whole lot on the ship. Because it all has to do with... It all has to do with, like, what you pick and when something happens. I do remember from last time we want to take a deck tour, or a ship tour, on the first day. So, let's go ahead and do the... Where is it? Ship's tour on the evening of Sunday. So Sunday the 13th in the PM, which is the afternoon. 3-hour tour. So at the PM we're going to do the ship's tour. In the AM, I think I'm just going to... like, rest in my room. We're going to start slow. I'm old. I'm 62. I know I feel raring to go for everything, but I've got 9 days to get all my energy out. Let's see here. And then in the evening, let's go ahead and stroll the decks. Why not? Stroll. What would we like to do on Monday? Just a reminder, it's like shuffleboard, bridge, go to the movies, cocktails, tennis, mahjong, nightclub, oil painting, ping pong, rest on chairs, rest in rooms, sauna, ship's tour, shopping, shuffleboard, stroll the deck. Shuffleboard, tennis, ping pong. Day of old people sports. I'm down for it. So the shuffleboard, souffle. Tennis. This is tennis. Tennis. And then, what was the ping pong? Can I do ping pong at night? That's the question. I can. You know what I should have done? And maybe I'll do this if we kill this guy and we have to be on the ship some more. I'm going to take the ship activities time selections. This is Dennis. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, you might not get that reference, but it's a solid one. But I'm going to put on the screen, kind of where I had like the maps last time, I think I'm going to put the ship activities and time selectable thing right there. So you guys can just be like, hey, we want to do this, this, and this, and you can see everything that I can see. So let's plan a couple days ahead. We're going to go on out to the Tuesday the 15th. What do we want to do on Tuesday the 15th? I think on Tuesday the 15th in the morning, I want to, maybe we go to the library in the morning? Let's go ahead and play, let's do library in the morning on the 15th. In the afternoon, let's go shopping. I'm rich. And then in the evening, let's go get some drinks. Or go to the movies. Let's go to the movies Tuesday night. Alright. Library in the morning, expect to be there all day. Not in this game. Well, unless I die. So let's start there and let's see what goes. So on the first Sunday, go to 73. So, morning, we selected room. If you have scheduled room, AM, PM, or night, go to 167. Well, we have. So, and if you scheduled a ship's tour, which I remembered that we needed to do that today, there's this make a successful this, and for any other result, go to the ship activity table. So, let's start with the room, because we did that first. So, 167. You hear a knock at your cabin door. Knock, knock, knocking on my cabin door. Cabin steward, sir, may I make up the room? I can tell the steward to come back later, or I can let him in and go to 47. Do I let the steward in? It's a him. Let him in? Alright, we're gonna let him in. If you let him in, go to 47. If you have already... Okay. I'm not gonna read the first sentence. A new steward enters carrying fresh towels for your stateroom. He looks Egyptian. Choose one of the following. So I can make a spot hidden, anthropology, or luck. I guess... Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what the first line says. So, what do I want to do? Do I want to spot hit and we want to do a luck roll? So, just to give you, I guess let me give you a little glimpse into old Ernest here. What might be good, what might be better. My luck is a 55. My spot hidden is a 60. And my anthropology is a 1. So we're not doing anthropology. Luck. I've got 2 votes for luck. So let's see. I mean, it's only 5 points off of my other roll. So let's see what we have going on here. And that, of course, is a 76. And I can't use luck to influence a luck roll. So that would have failed no matter what I chose. Let's go to entry 10. Attempt a dex roll. I'm 62, y'all. How do you think my dex is? Oh, but I rolled a 16. That's better than that. So let's see. Dex, that is a success. So if you succeed, and if your investigator is armed, I mean, I have a gun. We're just going to say they're armed. He or she gets weapon of choice in hand before the stranger attacks. Alright. So, if you are armed, you may fight back against the attack. Let's see. So let me read this to you and we'll see if we can figure this out. So listen in, John, because this is kind of weird. If you succeed and if your investigator is armed, he or she gets weapon of choice in hand before the stranger attacks. If you fail, the man strikes first with his knife. If you try to dodge the attack and win the combat, you evade the murderous cur's stab and break free. If you were armed, you may fight back against the attack, but if you lose the combat, mark off any lost hit points. So I guess that whole paragraph is only if I fail. Yeah. So combat then proceeds round by round in dex order. The Egyptian's dex is 60. My dex is only 55. So, so he makes a strike with his knife. So he has a 50% chance to hit me. Whoops. I don't know if I want to give him the good dice. I might have... You know what? I don't. Let me nab some other dice here. Gosh. This is just a boat. I mean, does everybody have to deal with this? I've never been on a cruise. I kind of would like to, I think. Because I like the big water. But... If I'm just going to get, attacked every time I... Everybody on the boat just wants to do bad things. I don't want to go. Does anybody else like to have matching sets when they roll their dice? I mean, I know some people don't care, but I'm like, I really want the other one that matches this one.
That sounds normal to me.
There's that. There's that. Almost got a full... I've almost got a pair. There we go. Okay, we got a pair. Let's see if the pretty cherry blossom dice do me wrong. Well, he got a 40, so that is a hit. So I can try to... I can escape from him by making a successful dodge roll on my action in a combat round. So... I need to really understand combat in Call of Cthulhu better, because I thought a dodge could be done as a reaction. But this always says on my action in a combat round.
I'm almost wondering if it's for an older edition.
I don't think so. I just, so Anyways, he would be able to hit me with 1d6 damage. I wish Matt watched this show. You're not in there, are you, Matt? Either way, 1d6, it could be worser. Yes, I say worser. I know it's wrong. I don't say it all the time. Only when it's you guys. So we're going to say I lost 3. Which puts me at 8. We're going to try my dodge roll. I mean, but even if I escape from him, what am I going to do? So let's see what my dodge is. Because I really don't want to kill anybody right now. 33. That matches my dodge is a 45. So I escaped. If we discover that if I dodge, I don't get hit, I'm going to take my hit points back. If you break free, the authorities start a ship-wide search. It is unsuccessful. Move on a day and go to the ship. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to move on a day. I want to go to the ship thing. Didn't get to do a ship tour.
Pappin.
Hey, Pappin. What's pappening? So, I gotta move on a day. Why did I even plan for this day? Oh. Yeah, the first line of that entry earlier was, if you've already survived this encounter once, skip. Hey, Sean. Good to see you, too. Good. We got some people in here. I need some help. I already got attacked. I'm day 1 on this boat. First, like, in the morning, guy wanted to come in and dress my room, and he tried to kill me. Did you look up combat, John?
I had not. No, you need me to look it up. Just a second.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. If you got to get up and stuff, it's not a big deal. Open.
Yeah, books on the bookshelf. Let me see. I might have it in my folder.
The keeper's guide is out in the front room. Come on, unlock, yo. Thank you. All right, so move on to the next day. All right, so on the first Monday, go to 109. So we chose shuffleboard, tennis, and ping pong. If I chose stroll decks, rest on deck, or go to cocktail party, otherwise go to the next day. So nothing happens on Monday. Probably still quite shaken. Tuesday, go to the library. You know, we went to the library last week on Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. If you chose to go to the cinema in the morning, go to 111. If you chose shopping in the afternoon, yay, go to 133. I did. Oh, it actually had all three. It actually had all 3 activities we chose. Just the AM and the evening were swapped. So if we'd gone to the movies in the morning, something would have occurred. But let's go shopping. 133. Oh, are you not clickable? Or is it on? It's on the page I'm on. Whoops. What a splendid ship. It's a mighty big ship. What a fine ship. You have all the comforts of a big city within a few hundred feet of your cabin. Beauty salon, fine men's clothing, jewelry, sporting goods, books, etc. You decide to look at some new gloves. Make a successful spot hidden roll and go to 61. Otherwise, continue your day. So, my spot hidden is a 60. I got a 49, so I was successful. So we're going to go to 61.
I know the answer now.
What's the answer?
So it's a roll against system, meaning that you could have rolled dodge or you could have rolled attack. Whoever gets the lower success is the victor.
Oh. Well, I succeeded better, I think. I think I got a 30-something. Or no, I got a... My dodge is 45, and I got a 30, or I got like a 29 or a 30. And his was a 50, and he got like a 47. So I didn't lose any hit points.
No, you didn't lose any hit points.
Woo! I'm taking those back. This game is far too deadly for me to just be handing out hit points because I don't understand the combat system. Yay. Alright. So, you notice flakes of dry skin. Someone has left behind his or her sunburn, you think. Quite out of place to do it in this fine shop. You look around and see two figures, one short and one tall, staring directly at you. You quickly leave the shop. Go to 126. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Is that not gross? Ooh, someone's left their sunburn behind. Tough, tough, tough. In the gloves. So, if you've completed all of those or are doing different activities this day, then move on and go to the ship activity table on 187. Alright, so we made it through Tuesday. Woo! For Wednesday, let's see what we want to do. Wednesday the 16th. Make my little chart here. Make my little chart here. Short and stout. So, we're going to go ahead and plan for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's just easier to do this in 3-day spurts, in my opinion, because it's a 9-day journey. So, Wednesday, we can do, in the morning, we've got cinema. We already saw the movie. I doubt they're showing a different movie. Cinema, more library, mahjong, oil painting, ping pong, rest in our room. I don't know if I'm ever going to stay in my room again. Sauna, shopping, again, I don't think we need to go shopping again, but we could try. Shopping, shuffleboard, and stroll. Oil painting. Alright. Just for grins, any of those things that I listed. Oh, mahjong? What?
Mahjong.
Oh.
Sorry, it auto-corrected a little bit.
It auto-corrected on your computer?
Yes.
Likely story.
That's my.
So do you want me to go to the sauna later this same day, Amanda, or sauna the next day? Because all those things I listed off are the morning activities, so we could potentially do those, do any of those any day. So bingo, bridge, cinema, cocktails, tennis, library, mahjong, nightclub, oil painting, ping pong, rest, sauna, ships tour, shopping, shuffleboard, stroll decks. Same day. So I can do a sauna any time of the day. So we'll do that in the afternoon. We'll go ahead and get some sweat out. Anybody else have any activities they want to see? Because if you throw some out, I'm just going to fill in the blanks. Mahjong, sweet. I can do mahjong at night. You know, that sounds nice. Do a little sauna, get out of the sauna, relax with some mahjong. For Thursday, I'm kind of leaning towards one of these mornings just doing a rest on the deck chairs or strolling the decks and just kind of enjoying the shop or enjoying the place. We could try another ship's tour at some point. Let's go and do a stroll in the morning on Thursday. Might pop in another ship's tour in here somewhere. I'm going to pop in another ship's tour here to see if I can actually get to that ever, or if that one day was the only day I could do it. And then it's Thursday. I think the ship is impossible to tour. It might be. I'm going to go get cocktails Thursday night. Friday morning. Let's play some tennis. If I could spell, I'd be dangerous. And then, what did I want to do? There was something. I know in the evening on this night, I'm going to go to the nightclub. Because it's Friday night. It's Friday night, and I just got paid. I don't see any suggestions. So for the afternoon, I think, so we did tennis in the morning. We're just going to rest on some deck chairs. All right, so that's 3 more days. Let's see what we got. On Wednesday, go to 148. If you chose stroll the deck, shuffleboard, or stroll the deck in the evening, go to 135. We didn't do any of those things. So we're just gonna go. I didn't choose any of those things. Go to 579, and if you have already been to 135, go to 579 again. Or instead. Well, I didn't, so I guess that day is just done. I guess. I wish 579 is nice. Maybe we'll try that another. If we go back to this, if we go back to this ship, we may have to do that. Remember, on Wednesday, stroll the decks. So Wednesday was a bust. Nothing happened. Thursday. I mean, if we just bust all of these. Is that the ice cream truck again? That guy. That individual has been here a lot. I mean, it is hot outside. So. What did I click? Ah, 148. If you chose Stroll Deck in the morning, I did. Shuffleboard PM or Stroll Deck at the night, go to 135. Oh wait, did I pick the wrong day? Let me go back to 187. That was the one that I had just done. Let's try this again. 187. Let me make sure I click Thursday and not Wednesday. Thursday. Oh, they are the same. Happy day. So I did. I chose Stroll. So we're going to go to 135. As you walk down a corridor, attempt a spot hidden roll. So. We have ice cream. I want ice cream too. Y'all, it could be below freezing outside and I would want ice cream right now. Because I promise you I'd probably be warm. So, spot hidden. My spot hidden is a 60. Oh my gosh! You guys can't see that. I'll just slide this down. That's not an 06. That's a 90. So I wasn't successful. If I failed the spot hidden, go to 106. Oh, jeez. The small man pulls out a dagger and swings it towards your midsection with alarming speed. But it misses and sticks into the wall. Meanwhile, you can retrieve a weapon, if you carry one, or you can run. So. Do we battle, or do I run away again? What have I done? Oh, I'm sorry, Liz. What have I done? I have just been enjoying my cruise, kind of. How do they know I'm a problem? So. Skirt this out a little bit. There. So yeah. So I do carry a weapon on me. I guess that's a thing in the 30s, but I'm going to say that I never take my gun off, especially since. So my theory is that you are on a cruise that is also the locale of a murderer's conviction. Yeah, murder mystery cruise. Who will kill you first? So I can try to run. My dodge is a 45. If I shoot this bucko, my firearms are 50 for handguns. Oh, sweet. I can't. If I retrieve a weapon, I may use it before the attacker uses his. If I do and are able to deal 3 or more hit points of damage, the coward runs from the cabin and escapes. Interesting. I think I'm going to shoot him. I mean, I think it makes sense. I'm a veteran, right? And I have already been attacked once on this ship. So I'm going to shoot the guy. Let's see what we can do for shooting him. He'll continue to strike at me until I do 3 or more hit points of damage to him, or until I die. Well, as we learned, I am in the best condition right now. I am at my full hit points, which is 11. That is a 48. Yes! And my firearms handgun, because I was shooting him with a 45, is 50. I was worried for a second, because my rifle and shotgun is only 40. So I did do that. So I get to roll a d10 plus 2 for my damage. So we're hoping for at least 3 points. I rolled 10. I killed this bro. So if you're able to do 3 or more hit points, the coward runs from the cabin and escapes. If you survive, an unsuccessful search is made for the attacker. I was not injured. I can go back. I can move on a day and go back to 187. So that's twice now I've been attacked. But yes, welcome all new viewers. Thank you all for tuning in. We are doing I don't have it up on the screen as I should. I can't toss a body over the side. I didn't kill him. It doesn't let me kill. Who's under here? Who's under here? Sorry, I had a dog on my foot. It's a Starbuck.
Yep.
I didn't get to go get my cocktails. I was too busy shooting a mofo. All right, F18. So that's Friday the 18th. Let's move on. I am, as of yet, unharmed. 192. We chose tennis, rest in chairs, and the nightclub. 192. Go to 126. If I've already been to 126, go to 590. Have I been to 126? I have already been to 126. So let's go back to 192. Excuse me, 590. The purser tells you that skeet shooting from the fantail will soon begin. Is the fantail the big dive thing? What is the fantail?
Like 3rd level up near the smokestacks.
Interesting.
Well, 3rd deck. So there's main deck, yeah, anyway.
All I know is on modern cruise ships, there's the thing that looks like a whale tail that's sticking up out of the deck. Is that the fan? Or is that just on Carnival Cruise Lines where they do? Because don't they do like?
That's
don't they do?
They put those giant tails on them.
Okay, but can't you like jump off those or something?
No.
Don't they have like bungee jumping or something off those? They don't?
No.
I feel like I saw an ad one time. I don't know anything about cruise ships. I'm a landlubber. Born in the Midwest. That's where I'm landlocked. Okay, the purser tells you that skeet shooting from the fantail will soon begin. To get some shotgun practice, go to 189. If I ignore the suggestion, move on a day and go to the ship activity table. So I do have, shooting. I do have a shotgun. So why don't we go get some shotgun practice? If anybody attacks me there, I have a shotgun. 189. As you exhibit your prowess with a skeet gun, you hear a soft pop. Hearing a bullet whine past your ear. You wheel around. No gunman is in sight. The other shooters have not noticed the gunshot. Despite their stares, you abruptly leave the competition. Move on a day and go to the So, someone has tried to shoot me on this day, too. I couldn't even go to the nightclub. Pew. So, I'm just going to put a little star or a little bang where I was attacked on all of these calendar days. So, that's 3 times now. What pain in the butt. Alright. So, we're getting close to the end here. We've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We should have, 3 more days? Oh, it says on the second Monday you arrive in Athens. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday at noon I arrive at Athens. So we really only have to do Saturday and Sunday for activities. Just a few more days. I used to love shooting the clays on duck hunt. Yeah, it was my favorite. I still remember the sound it made. I loved it. So Saturday the 19th, Sunday the 20th, and Monday 21st. Alright, so what do we want to do for 2 more days, y'all? You need me to read the list again? What do we got? So on Saturday, these all will take me to different entries also in the book, which They look like new ones that we haven't done before. So let's try. Oh, hey, thanks, Pappin. We appreciate it. Woo! Talk to John if you want something. Maybe he'll buy you lunch or something. Subscribing to the channel. Let's see. Rest in room. Rest on deck chairs. So, on my Saturday, I think we're gonna play. The morning stuff is kind of boring. I'm gonna do library again. 'Cause I'm a glutton for books. In the afternoon, let's rest in room. I am on a boat. Play shuffleboard? You know what? That's what we'll do. After the library, we're going to play shuffleboard. And then, in the evening, I'm going to go get my nightclub on. And then on Sunday morning, let's do see one last movie before we get off the ship, maybe? Or stroll. You know what? I'm going to stroll. And then I'm going to get cocktails. I'm going to drink up my last day. And then in the evening, let's do sauna. And just in case, I don't think they're going to, but just in case, I'm going to pick for the morning on the last day. I'm going to spend my morning playing shuffleboard. All right. Guys, we might survive this trip. All right. So, on Saturday, go to 193. Go to 148. If you have already been to 148, go to 171 instead. We have been to 148. I knew that. 171. If you chose rest in room, I didn't. If I chose oil painting, I didn't. And if I chose cocktails, which I didn't. If you've seen all of these numbers before, go to 385. I didn't do any of those, so we're going to go back. We're going to skip a day and move on. Let's see. Yeah. Skip a day, so on the second Sunday, go to 171. If you chose rest in room, I didn't, because the last time I did that on Sunday morning, I got knifed or attempted to. If I chose it's the same one that we just looked at. I did choose cocktails, but in the afternoon, not at night. So, once again, it's a big no. Well, let's go ahead. It just says if you've seen these before, go to 385. Why don't we just do it? You're invited by your dinner partners to play poker. Make a luck roll. If successful, I can win $2d10. If you fail the roll, you break even. If you fumble the roll, you lose $2d10. Move on a day and go to the ship. Why not? Let's go gamble. So, make a luck roll. I'm looking for 55 or less. I failed, but I didn't fumble. I break even. So we move on to Monday. I arrive in Athens, go to 173. Athens Harbor. Yay! We survived the cruise, y'all. We survived the cruise. So let me mark off my little calendar here. So, this day is done, this day is done, this day is done. These days are all done, done, done. They're all done. These days are done. All right. These days are done too. 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. It is now September 21st. At noon, I am at the Athens harbor in Piraeus. If arriving by boat, approaching the coast, you see that it is similar to that of New England, with oddly shaped inlets, gulfs, and headlands. But New England is cool, moist, and green. Here, luxurious golden warmth pervades everything. The Greek Republic, only 7 years old, totters under the hardships of the worldwide depression. The people are eager for tourists, as foreign money is much needed. Your ship docks at the gaily decorated harbor at Piraeus. Higher up in the hills beyond, Athens gleams beneath the midday sun. Many black automobiles bear the word taxi hand-lettered on their sides. If you decide to take a cab to the Bureau of Investigations, go to 130. Otherwise, go to any Athens location. All right. So do we want to head straight to the Bureau of Investigation? That is actually where Grunewald was going to be going. I'm going to assume that since he was sending things to Mr. Holt, that Holt understands that we are looking for information on Gliere. And it was what was the gentleman's name? There was a constable or someone that had him. Bureau of Investigation, yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards. I was looking for the name of. I was looking for the name of the guy. I'm sure it'll tell me. All right, so let's go to the Bureau of Investigations. So that will take us 1:30. That will take us an hour. So at 1 p.m. we go to the ABI is what I'm going to call it. The Bureau is open from 9 a.m. to noon and 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Oh. Well, I guess I chill out for an hour. Maybe we'll say I eat something. Because, of course, it's closed. Because I arrived at noon. Took me an hour to get there. So, let's just say I ate at 1 p.m. And then... And for those of you that have not sat with me on this adventure before, this is our third session of it. And it requires me to keep a rather detailed schedule. So, but yeah, I do need to eat. So, let's do the thing. I'm going to eat at 1. And then at 2 is when I go to the Bureau. Everywhere takes an hour to get to. And when you're there for an hour, I think is how the timekeeping works, unless it specifically directs me otherwise. So, 1 p.m. eat, 2 p.m. ABI. You quickly locate the office of the investigator in charge of Gliere's case, a Corporal Ilionis. After a few pleasantries, his words stun you. Sir, I regret to inform you that Professor Tibor Gliere is dead by his own hand. He has hanged himself. Perhaps he was too ashamed of his theft of the Carpathos device from the museum. We do not know, but yes, a suicide. A sad end. Your mind reels. You have come all this way to no purpose. You cannot believe that Gliere would end his own life, even though his career was in jeopardy. Is Ilionis positive? You suspect foul play? No, that is not reported. The pathologist found signs of self-mutilation, common enough with suicides. What? Oh, the doctor is vacationing in Switzerland. He will not be back for a few weeks. The corporal considers for a moment. You can see Gliere's cell, I suppose, unless someone new has been moved in. He was held at the Hall of Justice. So I can either I can try to make lies. So I can make a persuader charm roll. Let's see. So I can, if I make a successful persuader charm roll, Ilionis allows me to use his name at the Hall of Justice. If I want more information from him, I can go to 204. If I ask about getting a Greek interpreter, I can go to 170. I do not speak Greek. That is something to take note of. And when done here, I may go to any Athens location. There is a cab stand at the door. Go to 131 for a taxi. So, do I want to try to get him... Do I want more information now? Or do I want to make the roll... Well, it looks like... let's go ahead and make the roll to see if I can use his name at the Hall of Justice. So, I have Persuade and Charm, I believe. My Charm is 40, and my Persuade is also 40. So, if I get less than a 40, we're good. I got 10. That's less. So I get to use his name at 204. Do we want more information, or do I want a Greek interpreter? Boo. More info. Info! Alright. 204. You asked to see Ilionis's report. It says that Gliere refused to talk freely, but that he made libelous statements about museum director Pisistratos, and that he pleaded that the Carpathos device not be sent to Cairo. It also notes that Gliere demanded protection even while he was in his cell. Go to 40. But yes, very strange. Professor Gliere first stealing that device, then taking his own life. I wish I could tell you more. The Carpathos device is mysterious. No one knows its true nature. Perhaps the scholars at the National Museum can tell you about it. If I can make a successful intelligence roll, I can move on, and if I fail, I go back to the last entry. So, my intelligence is 80. I'm a smart boy. Caps were on purpose. Don't lie, Amanda. And of course I get a 90, but I can spend 10 on luck for this. Do we want to go ahead and push a little more? I have 55 in luck. This will take me down to 45. I smell it too. Something is very strong. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I might regret it later, but that's for another day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So, we were successful. Let's go to 21. That's not 21. 21. And the Carpathos device, you ask? Was it returned to the museum? He shakes his head. Oh no, it was scheduled to be sent to the National Museum in Cairo for a special exhibit. The device may be Egyptian, you see. The plans were not changed. If it is September, go to 128. If it is October, later go to 174. It is still September. So we're going to 128. It's on a ship right now, bound for Cairo. Go to 204. Alright. So we know where the Carpathos device is. It is on a ship headed for Cairo. Maybe people are trying to stab it. Who knows? It's my ship experience. So when I return to the Sentry from 40, succeeded a psychology roll and go to 226. So let's try a psych roll. My psychology is a 30, so it's kind of a tough call, but maybe. No, 51, and I don't want to spend 20 or 19 points to get it down there. So if I fail, I can hail a cab at 131. So, if you have been at the Sentry before, go to 58 instead. I haven't. A slender, dark-haired young fellow calls out, "Hey, English, taxi, anywhere in Athens, 5 drachmas." If you get in, go to 81. If you want another cabin driver, go to 58. So do I go with the cab driver that called me out because he knows I'm an American or speak English? Do I play a little naive and be like, "Hey, you speak my language. Yes, help me. I can't speak. I cannot speak Greek." Or do I get another cabin driver? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? I'm tempted to go and take the guy that speaks English because it's never fun being in a country where you can't speak, and I didn't get a chance to ask for an interpreter. I wonder what the psychology roll would have been. That would have been cool to know. I do believe Gliere is dead, by the way. I don't know. It's all questionable. I don't think he killed himself. But it wouldn't be the first time someone... Take the guy who speaks English? Alright, let's do it. Go to 81. I'm Christos. Where to? You tell him and he'll take you any place. You tell him and he'll take you any place in Athens. Along the way he says, "Listen, I'm a great interpreter. If you need help with Greek, you couldn't do better than me. 50 drachmas a day. I stay with you, drive you around like a guide. What do you say?" Weighing his character, you think there's some chance that he'll abandon you and do a little celebrating on his own as you go from one point to another. But probably he can interpret just fine, and he seems to know where to go. If you want another cab, I can switch, or I can go to any location on the Athens location table with Christos. I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and keep him. I need an interpreter anyway. He talks like a certain public figure. There's no better interpreter than me. But yeah, I'm gonna keep him. So, Athens location table. We already know that we can use Ilionis's name at the Hall of Justice. They are still open, so let me not forget to mark my time. So that was 2 p.m. at the ABI. We'll say I was there till 3. We're going to go to the Hall of Justice. Hall of Justice. Let's go there. Because they're open from 3 to 7. Might as well get her done. 87 was my number. The Hall of Justice and the King's Court of Appeals are open from 9 a.m. to noon and from 3 p.m. to 7, Monday through Friday. If Christos is with you, he knows exactly where to go. If you are alone, you spend an hour before you arrive at the right quarter, but I know where to go. The sergeant speaks no English. If Christos is with you, or you have an interpreter, go to 77. So here we go, 77. Christos tells you, Gliere hung himself. He killed himself. Yes, his body has been shipped to the United States. Apparently the professor left nothing behind to be recovered. Let's see if I can make a successful psychology roll. I did. That's a 20. My psychology is a 30. Nice. Go to 180. The man appears afraid. Oh, come on. Pressing him further, he admits fear. I don't think Gliere killed himself. Someone wanted him dead. Someone or something. I don't know. It had to do with the Carpathos device. Gliere kept saying that it must not go to Egypt. So I need to make a persuade roll now. You did the conversion for the time period? $5 a day. Some serious celebrating. Alright, so let's make a persuade roll. My persuade is 40. Ooh, 49. Do I spin that 9? I kind of want to. I think I want to. This guy's already given up some information. Hope I don't need to be lucky later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 202. He hesitates. Yes, he says, Gliere was hanged, but his body and face were disfigured strangely. Huge welts ran down the length of the professor's body. To Ilionis's eye, he'd looked like he'd been long dead before his neck was stretched. Oof, go to 87. Gross. So I'm back to Hall... So, that takes me back to the Hall of Justice. As you leave, the sergeant seems to remember something. He pulls a letter out of a drawer and gestures that you may read it. Go to 539. The sergeant hands you the sheet of paper. Unfolding it, you recognize Gliere's tiny, precise script. There is no date and no signature. So it's addressed to Dr. Louis Grunewald, Miskatonic University, Arkham, Massachusetts, USA. I don't know if it's a typo or if Gliere is not great with his homonyms or homophones, but it says Dear Louis, but it's dear like the animal. I fear it is too late for me. Though with the best of motives, the authorities foolishly apprehended me before I could accomplish destruction of the Carpathos device, and thereby they have re-endangered the world. If, to prevent my further interference, the cult of Athens tries to murder me while I am trapped in this cell, I do not know how they can fail their purpose. This letter, therefore, must convince you of the truth I tell, and relate to you what must be done about it. You must do it, or see that it is done, else our world is doomed. Though our discussions have acquainted you with some of what I now write, you have never accepted my arcane conclusions. I beg you now to do so, at least for the length of this letter. What follows is the situation as I understand it. An Alexandrian era sorcerer, one Ephagon of Carpathos, was reputed to have constructed a mechanism perfectly replicating the movement of the spheres. According to certain fragmentary evidences, this evidence was to be sent to Egypt, to agents of the notorious cult of Athens. The record is dim. Perhaps it was designed in Egypt and built in Carpathos, but I digress. Once installed in Egypt, the mechanism could be used in a great ceremony presaging the end of the world. It would somehow align the forces of nature with the metaphysical powers of an unnamed, exceedingly evil god. The product of the ceremony would be another device, this one very simple, a crystal octahedron, which could be spun like a child's top. It is the top of Aten, a thing of as great magical power as the device which produced it was a. Wait a second. It is the top of Aten, a thing of as great magical power as the device which produced it was a wonder of natural science. By bringing the top of Aten farthest south, in quotes, to the last city of the oldest beings, and then summoning their god, the cult intended to use their cosmic gyro, to alter the. Or gyro, depending on. Man, a cosmic gyro sounds great, y'all. Their cosmic gyro to alter the rotational axis of the Earth, thereby bringing a strange land, surely Antarctica, once more to life. Why does he think it's Antarctica? A strange land. In the process, the annoying lands of the stick folk, literally the lands of men, would be destroyed. Rude. But the ship carrying the device to Egypt was lost in a great storm. Then Ephagon died. The ceremony was never begun. Turn the page. You'll recall the mysteries surrounding the Miskatonic expedition to Antarctica and its tragic outcome, and you know that the Starkweather Moor expedition leaves Bremen this winter to return to Antarctica and reopen the terrible questions which Lake first raised. That's referring to a lot of people that I don't know about. But you have heard of the Carpathos device, the strange instrument recovered near the island of Carpathos? After examining it, I knew that this was Ephagon's device. Louis, it is my firm conviction that this tale is true, that a great scheme to change the world has been reactivated by the cult of Aten. Perhaps they employed great magic to manipulate destiny, or perhaps they are exceedingly cunning and evaluate every event for what they may gain of it. But their hour has come round again. Others also believe this. An erudite and cruel man named Stanford has lent me subtle aid, but says that for arcane reasons he may do no more. He is not a friend, but says that in this thing he serves his god. A kinder, gentler Greek gentleman has also helped. Both seem to represent greater powers than man, perhaps beyond our ken. But the cult of Aten is strong. At least one of them is no man at all. But, here the letter ends. There is no second sheet. There is nothing on the reverse of the sheet. As you struggle to digest and evaluate the letter, the guard casually informs you that nothing else of Gliere's is now at the prison. Go to any Athens location. Okay. That was a lot. What time is it? 8:18? Okay, so we got like another 45 minutes. So, Gliere found some stuff, had some friends, and now what do we want to do? Let's see here. So from 4 to 5, I read a letter. There's a lot going on. Gliere was frantic about some stuff. I probably need to eat. Well, let's see. Athens locations. I am going to need a hotel at some point. Oh, I need to turn John's microphone back on. He's over there going, So, I can go to a railway station and restaurant. I don't know what I'd need to do there. Athens Harbor, I've already been to. So hotels, Motorship Kionis, hireable 25 hours a day. Is that just being like, we're always open 8 days a week? 25 hours a day isn't as catchy. Do need to go to a hotel. There is the European edition of the New York Sun. On the street food vendors, the Parthenon, Piosato's Cafe, another Motorship Kionis. That's weird that it's listed twice. Spyro Outfitter and Supplier, and taxis always available. So while I have a driver because I've hired Christos, so do we want to go visit the Parthenon or go to a cafe or just go ahead and go get a hotel? Well, the hotel usually ends my day, so we'll go there later. Do I want to read the European edition or go to the Museum of Archaeology? Did I say that all on my list earlier? I can go to the museum, the Parthenon, a cafe. I don't know what Motorship Kionis is. What is that? What is a motorship? I was assuming it was a kind of... Oh, it's a ship for hire. Okay. Now I know. Go to the Parth? That's what the teens call it? That's what, yeah, hip people call it the Parthenon. Why not? Let's go to the Parthenon. 194. So. Sorry, marking my time clock. Alright. It is now 6 p.m. I am at the Parthenon. The majestic temple columns glow golden yellow in the setting sun, deepening to blue as you clamber across the rubble to reach the lonely inner court. I'm glad that it knew that it was afternoon and setting sun. The beauty of the scene somehow oppresses you, and gradually you sink into your own thoughts. As you ponder the suicide of Gliere, a scream abruptly brings you to the present. What if I hadn't have learned about this yet? Like, what if I hadn't have gone to the Bureau of Investigation and learned that he'd had a suicide, and then I just went here because I was like, I'm in Greece, let's go to the Parthenon. And I'd be like, what? Spoiler! As you ponder the suicide of Gliere, a scream abruptly brings you to the present. Do you have a scream on your little sounds there, John?
I do. Do you want one?
Yeah, just give me a faint scream.
A faint scream.
I'm gonna ponder the suicide of Gliere.
Let's go with
Wilhelm, no! The cry seemed to come from nowhere. Suddenly you are aware of your isolation and vulnerability in the deepening gloom. I can try to hide, or I can sneak away, or stroll away, casually. What do we want to do, y'all? Hide, sneak, stroll away casually. I'm not afraid. I don't have to roll anything so far, so it's true. I might see something if I hide. It's Bobo making a call. We've been watching a lot of old Finding Bigfoot because it's just it's a hoot. Sometimes those people really irritate me. And I know some of you are probably going, sometimes? Bobo seems like a nice guy, though. I mean, Bobo and Renee seem like generally cool people. I just doubt they're so sure. Some of them, not Renee, but the others are so sure. This is what they do. This is what big feet do. Or Bigfoots, excuse me. Bobes. Alright, in 14. You alright over there?
Yeah, I just started something.
Oh, yeah. Bobes. Yeah, there's my call. You crouch in the gloomy shadows. Soon you hear slow, shuffling footsteps from many directions. Do you wish you'd run instead? Somehow you count yourself glad that you can't make out the faces of the approaching figures. Figures which move as though alive and yet remind you of the dead. Now you're sure they see you. You begin to panic. I can run, stand up and use fast talk. Well, those are my options. I can run or I can stand up and try to use fast talk. Hi guys, everything's cool. My fast talk is a 5, by the way, so I think we're just gonna have to try to run. Yeah, probably run. We're just gonna run, because I don't want to try to make a 5. 27. Something grabs you. Make a strength roll. Okay, my strength is 45. Holy crumbs. How do you make... Okay, how do you make... Guys, let's cross our fingers here. Get 45 or less. I'm looking at what happens if I fail, and a second creature grabs me, and it gives me their combined strength, and it says make an opposed roll against the combined strength. How do I...
You add it together?
They do. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to run away. Trying to run away, y'all. Something grabbed me, so I gotta try to pull away. Oh, thank God I got a 15. Okay. I'm just gonna tell you what it says. So make a strength roll. If successful, I tear from the grasp and escape. If failed, and a second thing grabs you, hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. What is that?
Joe Stars. It's the sound he makes when
Oh,
he
is
does
that?
the secret. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, so anyway, I could have, if successful, I tear from the grasp and escape to 33. So that's what we're gonna do because we did make it because I rolled a 15 under 45. However, if I had failed and a second thing grabbed me, their combined strength is 140. Make an opposed roll against the combined strength. So I guess I would, I mean, because they would for sure get under 140, right?
Yeah, the only way you could do.
I don't understand how to make an opposed roll against combined things. Succeed and I would be able to squirm out of their grasp. Fail and a third one grips you and all three, I would have died. So I was like, please, 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 please. But yeah, I don't understand how to make it combined, how to... It's not important now because I escaped, but that's definitely something that we're going to have to pay attention to. So we go to entry 33. Trembling with fear, you reel down the road from the Parthenon. You spy a lone figure ahead, a white-haired old man who uses a walking cane. You babble a warning in English, supposing that the alarm alone in your voice will be enough to dissuade him from going closer to the horrors lurking in the Parthenon behind you. To your surprise, he answers in English. His voice is slow, but it inspires your confidence. Fear no more, he says. Tonight the stars themselves bind those things to the top of the sacred hill. We have nothing to fear here. Your terror begins to lift like a veil. Your friend was killed by one of those creatures. You see them in museums, you know, looking like stuffed animals. Undead? Ghouls? Who knows their origin? Your friend Gliere saw them just before they killed him. That is as much as you and I need know. He pauses. Our lives we struggle in darkness. We are poor beings who need the darkness in order to find the light. As he says these words, the moon breaks through the clouds and a calm beauty pervades the world. Your fears are quenched, your heart utterly at peace. I have been on quests like yours. I have been the scholar of the unusual. I know the uncertainties and the terrors. There is nothing we mere mortals can do but strengthen our faith and struggle against the darkness. The two of you walk slowly. I do not know what Gliere had discovered, but I do know that while in prison he told someone that if the Carpathos device was returned to its home, life as we know it will cease to exist. He turns to you. I am at the end of my life. It is up to you to stop this evil, as your friend attempted so valiantly. Egypt is the answer. Go there. Find the Carpathos device, return it to the sea, or destroy it utterly. He takes something from his hand. It is a ring, heavy with gold, curiously made, covered with signs, most prominently a 5-pointed star with a core of flame. I give you this. It has power, though perhaps not as much as you would want. Use it against dead things brought back to existence. For a moment, a friendly hand has steadied you and restored your resolve. This warmth of feeling is what you fight for, and the numbing terror which chased you from the hill is what you despise. When you look up again, your new friend is gone. The road is empty. The encounter was like a dream. But the ring is still there. You slip it on a finger, it fits firmly and comfortably. Reaching the bottom of the hill, you find a cab and go to a hotel. You sleep peacefully. In the morning, go to any Athens location. I should have ate. All right. So I have to eat today. Because I did not eat yesterday. I don't quite remember the rules on that. I think I have to eat 3 times today, I think is the rule. Let me go back to the beginning and check that real fast. Just to make sure I don't screw up. So yes, so I must eat 3 times today. So I'm going to eat first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. This is the 22nd of... And I think we need to try to get on a boat to Cairo. Do I have any objections to that? I at least need to find out when a boat to Cairo leaves. So this was... Tuesday, 22nd. So 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's go to the Athens location table. Let's go check. Where was it? Athens Harbor. Open 24 hours every day. I'm not arriving by boat. If leaving Athens, a steamer departs for Alexandria every Tuesday and Friday at 3 p.m. and arrives exactly 24 hours later. Alright, so it is Tuesday. It is 8 a.m. Because I ate until 7, went to the harbor. That gives me, wherever I go, it'll take me to 9 a.m. Do I want to go to the museum? Or do I want to go to the newspaper? Or do I want to try to do both before getting back here? Because I can get back here and get on a boat for Alexandria. Newspaper? Okay. So, let's see here. So the European edition of the New York Sun is available 24 hours a day. Let's go read the newspaper. When you browse through the newspaper, you notice 3 items. Ahmet Keh, director of the Cairo National Museum, eagerly awaits the arrival of the Carpathos device on loan from Athens. The casket bearing Professor Gliere, the academic thief from Miskatonic University, has been placed aboard the Urania for New York. A memorial service has been scheduled in Arkham, Massachusetts, USA. The Starkweather Moor expedition nears readiness as the Dark Sea heads for... Dark Sea is the name of the ship. Heads for Bremen, Germany. Once there, final preparations include reinforcing the hull for the treacherous journey into the ice floes surrounding Antarctica. If it is after September 15th, go to 95. Definitely is. Professor Gliere's suicide has shocked and saddened the Miskatonic academic community. No word has yet come from Professor Grunewald. It is not any of those days. So, back to Athens. So, that's good information to know. So, 10 a.m. New York Sun. Let's go ahead and hit up the museum, I think. I think it would be remiss to not go. There's really nowhere else besides the motor ship. I don't think I can just take the motor ship to Cairo. I don't think. Seems like a long motor ship. Yeah, I think we're gonna... Sorry, I did read ahead. I just wanted to see if that was something I could hire, but if we weren't on the day that the boat was leaving, I think we would consider that, but... So, Museum of Archaeology... Oh, of course, but they're closed now, so I can't go there. So, let's go eat, because I need to eat again. So, yeah, so by the time I would get there... I think it would be noon. I hate that you have to spend an hour everywhere. Like, that it's an hour there, then an hour to travel. It's just like... So everything you do is a 2-hour time block, essentially. So at 12, I'm going to go eat at the Piositos Cafe. It is open from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily. As you enter the cafe, the thick, acrid tobacco smoke chokes you. The place is filled with laughing, gesticulating dock workers and sailors. If you're here expecting to meet someone, go to 35. I'm not. Looking around, you can approach any of the following if you have Christos with you. I do. So I can try to talk to the group in the back playing cards, or the burly sailors at the bar, or for a lone Englishman at a table. Oh, I don't need to make any roll to approach him. I have to make... Oh, I don't have to roll for any of these people because I have Christos with me. Who do we want to talk to? Sailors, card players, or the Englishman? Laughing, gesticulating dock workers. Sounds like a good time. The Englishman? Ooh, sailors. I need a tiebreaker. I'm gonna have a sip of my drink. Poppin'!
They choose the third option.
That's 2 for sailors. Yeah, he did. Of course he did. But that's why we love you, Papin. For the burly sailors at the bar, 105. The sailors talk about some kind of curse, which they say is leaving Greece. You also hear that the Kionis, an ocean-going motor ship, is for hire. Return to the cafe at 20. Okay, well that's good to know. That they'd tell me about the motor ship. So, then I can cheat at cards? Yeah, let's go talk to the card players. We'll talk to the Englishman last. If I don't die, you make out Gliere and then a word like strangled. Then the men stop talking and look up at you. To gesture to ask to play, go to 581, or to leave the table, I can go back to the cafe. Do I want to play? Sorry, I keep messing with this camera. Trying to get the whole 581 and try to play. Whoa, wrong button. Alright, 581. Let's go play. They're playing a form of whist. Does anybody know how to play whist? I've never heard of it. Ominous that it is ominous that they mentioned the guy, yeah. And that he was strangled and not hung. Or hanged. So, sounds like which these were the card players, right? They're playing a form of whist. You hope to get information, but your winning streak quickly becomes phenomenal. Soon the fishermen grumble to themselves and stir unhappily. In 20 minutes, you clean out the table. You win a total of $35 and stuff your pockets with small denomination drachma notes. Return to so I probably just pissed everybody off. I wish it would have let me, make a choice whether to keep cleaning them out or to start letting them win. All right, so let's go talk to the Englishman, eh? He's our last one. But apparently I do cheat at cards. Woo, go cheating. Yeah. The man is Richard Hawks. He greets you warmly. An ouzo and some talk, he suggests. Look, I know you're investigating Gliere's death. I've talked to him once or twice. His death caused quite a stir. Well, to make a long story short, I have some interesting information concerning his crazy theft. I don't have it here, but if you'd like to come back to my apartment, I can show it to you. If you say yes, I can go to 79. If you say no, Hawks suggests meeting you at the Parthenon at sunset. He'll bring the stuff then. In the meantime, you may go to any Athens location. Well, no. We know what the Parthenon is, and if this guy wants to meet there later, that's no bueno. So, I am going to assume that we're going to say no to going to his apartment, too. Or do we want to go to his apartment? It is currently, so it takes me an hour to eat. Let me do all my marking. So I started to eat at 12. If I go to his apartment, it will be 2 o'clock. No, I need to go back to the boat, yeah. We're just going to go back to the harbor. No, we're good. Piss off, Mr. Hawks. I'm going to put a note in here. Do not trust Hawks. I'm wondering if he was the person Gliere mentioned in his note. The one that is not a friend, but seems to be serving his god. Do not trust Hawks. Alright, so we go to the harbor. We take the boat at 3. If leaving Athens, a steamer departs for Alexandria every Tuesday and Friday at 3 or arrives exactly 24 hours later. On arrival, go to 195. All right. So, it is now Wednesday, the 23rd. At 3 p.m. We're going to say that I ate on the boat. I don't think it's going to penalize me for not marking every eating if I'm on a boat. So. Pink. All right. Alexandria Harbor and Rail Station. What time is it? All right, 8:41. Okay. The docks and rail station are near one another, surrounded by a web of narrow streets filled with shops and cafes. If you've just arrived in Egypt, you can stay in Alexandria for a night and find an excellent room. For dockside eating places offering food and a variety of entertainments, go to 221. Otherwise, your hotel provides a simple meal and you spend an uneventful night. In the morning, go to any Alexandria location on the Egypt location table. Or I can catch a train to Cairo. The train leaves daily at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. and arrives an hour later. A ship for Athens leaves every Wednesday and Saturday. Perhaps you've had enough and want to go to America, or I can go to Bremen. So where do we want to go? Englishmen and notoriously undercover cultists. Yeah, they really are. They are. So, we are now in Alexandria. I can continue on to Cairo, or I can stop. I kind of want to eat now. Go ahead and get my... Let's just go back to America. Screw this. I'm out. Peace. I think I'm going to go ahead and eat. And then, because if I decide to go on to Cairo, I don't go until... The train's not until 6. There are no cats, and the streets are paved with cheese. America? Or... or England. Because what I know is in Cairo there are no bobcats on those streets, even though they're named Scorpion and Bobcat and whatever. Or, no. That was in America. There are no bobcats on that street.
Papin was going for some nerd cred. And
is that nerd cred?
Oh, that's American Tail.
Oh.
Because there are
Man,
no cats.
I haven't thought about American Tail in a really long time. Oh, I've thought about it, but I couldn't quote anything from it. So, is that the song? Is that the one that does Somewhere Out There?
No. Oh, that's in
the first one.
That's in the first one. But that's the song they're singing on the boat.
Yeah,
because there are
that's
no cats in the
yeah. But that's the one that has the Somewhere
Out
There. So set your mind at ease. Now I kind of want to watch Fightful.
It's good.
Is that a Don Bluth?
Yes, it is actually. Of course.
Well, not of course, because when I was a kid, I thought it was Disney.
And the thing is, it's also Spielberg.
Aw. So, eat. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat here on dockside. So at 3 p.m., I nosh. Excellent nosh, Petunia. Let's see here. 221. A meal can be obtained between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. Do you want to talk with the locals? If you can speak any Arabic at all, go to 219. If not, you learn nothing. You return to your hotel for a peaceful night. In the morning, go to any Alexandria location on the Egypt. Well, I don't want to do that. I just want to eat and then get a train. I'm going to still get my train. I don't care. So, I ate. And then I'm going to go to the rail station. Again, open 25 hours a day. I don't know if those are typos or if those are like advertisement type stuff.
It's non-Euclidean time.
Cyclopean. All right, so we're going to catch that train. Unless does somebody want me to stay in Alexandria? I should be asking you guys more. You guys are you're the ones leading this venture. I am but a puppet in a chair. Alexandria sucks since the library burnt down. I wonder what are the locations in Alexandria that are available? Alexandria Harbor and Rail Station, Alexandria Outfitters and Suppliers. So yeah, there's absolutely squidlins there. So we're going to go ahead and catch that train. 2:05. So I'm going to say from 3 to 4 I eat. Then from 6 to 7 I train to Cairo. And now I'm in Cairo. Cairo Rail Station. You can get a good meal here between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. An offensive odor like the scent of manure hangs over the station. Many British soldiers prowl about here. I wonder if those two things are supposed to be linked in the narrative somehow. So my hair is doing a weird thing. Sorry, y'all. If you've just arrived, go to any Cairo location on the Egypt table. So if I ever want to go back to Alexandria, my train leaves at 9, 12, or 5 every day. Ooh, I can also take a train to Athens, which takes 3 days to complete. So that's something to think about. Egypt location table. It is 7 p.m. in Cairo. Do we just find a hotel, or do we go somewhere? Let's see, what's open? And it is Wednesday. So, Cairo Airport, Cairo Museum. Before October 30th, open. It is not open. Cairo Police is open 24 hours every day. The Fuzira Marketplace is open until 8, but it will be closed by the time I get there. I think it's time to just go to a hotel. Sleep is for the weak. Well, I don't have anything else I can do. Yeah. So, I mean, the only thing I could do at this hour is go to the airport or to the police station. Sorry, that was the sound that I heard in the background. Let me just take a look at something real fast. I'm reading ahead. Shh. Yeah, not worth noting. All right, yeah, we're gonna go to the hotel. 164. 164. Space is a bit tight, but you must get a room. Roll 1d10 to see how you fare. All right. Well, I got a 10. For 10, go to 154. Many private homes, from huts to mansions, have rooms to let to visiting tourists. They are very safe. Each night that you spend in a private home, attempt one luck roll. If you succeed, go to 198. So my luck, after having used so much of it, is only a 36. I did not make it. That is an 88. So let's, when I wake, go to any Cairo location. What time is it? Let me just ask, for those of you that are here, do we want to keep going for another 10 minutes and see if old Ernest dies? Or do we want to go ahead and break here and start fresh exploring Cairo next week? I'm good either way. I'm good to continue for a little bit, or we can go ahead and stop. What are people feeling? We do have some announcements that we can go ahead and share at the end of the session. Don't kill Ernie. Well, I won't kill Ernie. Okay, I see one vote for praying. Bert will be sad. You're not wrong, and lonely for the rest of his lonely days. I'm tempted to go ahead and break here so we can really devote some energy to Cairo next time. We are on September 24th at 6 a.m. with Ernest Holt. Maybe this week I'll remember to go ahead and prep the other 2 characters that I have, just in case Ernest once again gets attacked. I mean, how many times did this guy get attacked today?
God.
He got attacked Sunday morning. He got attacked Thursday, Friday, and then again at the Parthenon. So he's had a rough go. He's been attacked far more times than Grunewald was, but Grunewald still died. So, you know, his Navy training has, yeah, sure. Me or John, message away. We're available by all the communications. Okay, cool. Pappin says he's going to message you about something about our other game.
Okay.
We have so many games, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and break here. We are at the Egypt location table when we come back. And, but things to keep an eye out for. This week on Thursday, it would normally be our Growing Shadows time, but with the extended quarantine and coronavirus concerns here in Houston, we have continued our isolation, at least where we're not letting anybody into the house, which unfortunately doesn't allow us to do a whole lot because not all of our cast members have equipment to stream. It's totally cool, but hopefully we'll be able to get back to Growing Shadows soon. For the next 4, let's see. So our general schedule is, for those of you that are new here or for those that aren't quite familiar with our schedule on Quiett Gentleman Entertainment, Thursday nights at 6 p.m. every week there is a show. Every other week, it's Illuminated Page. On the Illuminated Page is our Call of Cthulhu 7th edition Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign that has myself, John, who you've heard his voice, our friend Sean, and who is in chat as Bink26, and then our GM Matt Quiett, who lives up in Indianapolis. It is all done via stream and via Zoom. We do that, like I said, every other week. We did have to skip last week because we our GM had some unexpected things come up, and we had to. Even with quarantine and COVID, we also have stuff that happens. So we had to skip last week. We can't do it next week either because our other cast member, who I did forget to mention, is David. David is currently moving from Louisiana to Indiana to start his PhD program up at Ball State. So we're going to take it that they're going to be on the road, or it's going to be the night before they leave. So we're going to take another week off there. But starting this Thursday, and happening every other Thursday for the next 8 weeks, so that's 4 sessions, we're going to start a stream called The Shell Game, which is a Spycraft classic, campaign or story adventure that John, my husband, will be GMing. And that's going to have myself, Sean Parks again, in our chat as Bink26, and then Alyssa Appleton, who you may have seen on Saving Throw Show, The City of Mist. She does a show called Total Party Kill. You can look her up on all the social medias. She's a fantastic role player, very cool. We're excited to have her join our cast for a night, or for 4 nights potentially. But yeah, we're going to be doing a Spycraft game. So there will be espionage and all sorts of things happening in the early 60s, I believe. Right after, time period-wise, historically, right after the Bay of Pigs incident under Kennedy's presidency. So, but we're excited. We're calling it, we all picked Green Eyes, so we've called our team Team Viridian, or Viridian, something like that. And we all have code names and everything. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good time. We've got great artwork for our stream layout done by our friend Justine, who's also on our Growing Shadow stream. We're trying to do a whole bunch of stuff. Coming up soon also, there is a pretty good possibility that I will be making an appearance on a different channel doing a Curse of Strahd campaign. So we'll see how that pans out. We appreciate your support, all of you that are still with us tonight and have been tuning in every Tuesday. Please tell your friends, please share, please join in chat if you're here. Lurkers are more than welcome. I lurk on a lot of streams. I totally get it. But we're trying to build our path. We're trying to, get get to partner on Twitch, and that really takes a lot of people, engaging in the chat. And so we have this show that is all based around interacting with you, the viewer, and letting you have a chance to kind of have some pull with how the story goes. We might do more of that kind of stuff in some of our larger campaigns later on. But again, we really just appreciate you guys being here and supporting the show. Tell your friends. Subscribe if you can, but we get it if you can't. That said, I think that's everything for this week. We'll be back here next Tuesday. I believe that is July 28th, I think, if my days are right. July 28th with Alone Against the Dark Part 4. Prepare to see me, and we'll bring back Ernest and Cairo, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you all for coming out tonight. It was great to talk to y'all and see y'all. And let me get my mouse so I can actually run the end here. But thank you all, and you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.